Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is August 21st, 2023, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the market's really tapering off on lower volume, but first, no major economic events scheduled for today. So looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Australian dollar continues to show some weakness, even though the other pairs kind of leveled off. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ also leveling off as the markets consolidate. Looking at commodities, gold continues to slide while oil bounces. And while we look at the stocks, it's really mixed across the board. And we look at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged after the sell-off. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go, starting out with the Australian dollar, and you can see that on a weekly chart, it's on its lows, okay? Didn't bounce. That doesn't mean that it won't bounce, but just showing some weakness here as it's leveling off here. Now, the markets are leveling off, so I wouldn't, get so aggressively short here, but just notice that if it does continue to break this level of 63-ish level, we could hit our 61, 64 low for the year. So keep that in mind. Now, looking at the other major pairs, not much doing here. Canadian dollar continues to slide versus the dollar also as it's gotten weaker. You can see it on a daily chart moving towards that 36,500-ish level, which is major resistance-ish level. So keep that in mind. Now, jumping into commodities, gold continues to just trade straight down like a trend. I mean, this is a really great trend as it has made lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and continues to sell off. So it's at 188.88. Now, it should be consolidating around this area. If we look at a weekly chart, it has hit this area quite before. So there is some congestion here. So possibly it could bounce. Now, we don't have a Fibonacci retracement set up for here. A real next level, 1692. So, all intents and purposes, we do have significant levels here on the low side and the high side. So it's still on the upper range, historically speaking, of where we've been since 2019 on gold. Now, jumping into crude oil. This is where it's interesting. It bounced off of that support level, 30-day support level, and boom, we're at 81.27. Now, I think we'll be consolidating here between 84-ish level and 80-ish level for a while. I mean, unless we're going to break out higher, and if we do, that'll mean we could get back to the 90s. So keep that in mind. Now, we are hitting the end of August, beginning of September for oil, which is hurricane season, which affects the Gulf of Mexico, which then affects the production and the distribution of refined oil. So that's really important because, Texas, which is the main hub, and all that part of the Gulf of Mexico affects the price of oil tremendously. So keep an eye on it as those hurricanes sometimes disrupt the levels and disrupt the prices as well. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, pretty much nothing, okay? I mean, just consolidating here. So did the tech. Didn't go lower, but definitely didn't go higher either. Now, it's a mixed bag when it comes to the stocks. Apple kind of came back from the brinks, okay? So did some of the other stocks. Facebook also bounced off of it after it sold off and gapped down, okay? It made a little bit of a reversal here towards the day on Friday. Now, Microsoft also bounced, had a green candle. The point is that there was a green candle. Whether or not this is going to break kind of the trend downwards is a bigger question. Now, we are still in summer trading, so keep that in mind. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, okay, so this is what happened with Bitcoin. We had this nosedive last week, and then that's it. Nothing more than that. So keep that in mind that there's really, hard to trade this when it just makes a move and then it doesn't do anything, okay? Vis-a-vis something like gold where it's actually trending downwards, and you catch that trend all the way from 1970 down to 1888. So that was a bigger move than something like this. So just keep in mind, yes, for day trading, Bitcoin could potentially be great, but it's a very hard thing. So potentially, although it is and historically been a great thing to trade, just recently it's not trading so much. So keep, focused on the things that are trading, to level your game. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.